We are here at the Lincoln's Museum with children's author Bethany Walker and Emily Jane Clark. So, what made you want to be an author?
Oh, me first. I've just always loved writing, and to be honest, because I grew up in this area, I didn't realise that I could be a writer. I loved books, and I knew that they were written by real people. They didn't just grow magically, but it never dawned on me that I could be one of those people. And it took for my children to be born and for me to start reading children's books again and think, these are brilliant. Why am I not doing this? So that's really what got me on writing.
Well, basically I was terrible at everything else at school except English, so all I could do was write stories. But as I said, my head teacher, the kind of silly stories I wrote, he said they wouldn't get me anywhere. Similar to Bethany actually, but I didn't really attempt it until I had children and read loads of brilliant silly stories, and I thought, you know what, Mr. Parsons, you were wrong. You can make a living out of writing silly stories, so there you go, that's why.
Why do you write funny stories?
I've always found humour is a really great way of coping with any situation, I think. So I come from a family of storytellers where, no matter what, if something bad happens or embarrassing happens, the first thing we'll think is, how can I make this into a funny story to tell, my sister, my mum. So I think that just, it came naturally for me to write comedy. I think I would find it tricky to write anything else.
I think similar to Emily Jane, I much prefer seeing the funny side of things, and even if you do talk about things in a light-hearted way, you can still cover quite serious topics, but because you live with books a long time while you're writing them, I think it's important to really enjoy doing that, and I just really love trying to make myself laugh while I'm writing, and hopefully if I'm making myself laugh, because I have the humour of a child, like Emily Jane said that she did as well. I think there's a common theme there. Then hopefully I'll make other people laugh too. It's a lovely way of spending a day, just going chortling away on your keyboard.
Basically to make ourselves laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, who cares about anyone else? I'm laughing at these bum jokes.
What was your favourite book as a child?
My absolutely favourite book was Emily of New Moon, which is by L.M. Montgomery. And it's not a funny book, but it's just one that I read and reread. But nowadays, as all authors do, and as we'd recommend everyone do, we read lots of books that are coming out now, and my favourite book nowadays changes all the time, because I read a book and just go, this is brilliant, this is absolutely fantastic, and then the next week I'll read something else and that's also fantastic. It's very much a golden age. You're very lucky that you're reading books now.
When I was a younger child, it was The Faraway Tree, as I mentioned, by Enid Blyton. I loved all the magic in that and some of the funny characters. So that was that.
Is writing children's books different for writing for TV?
Yes, as I mentioned, bum jokes go down a lot better in children's books than they do in topical satirical TV shows, funnily enough. But actually there's a lot that I learned from writing for TV that have been really useful in writing funny children's books, like just the way of setting up a joke, and then sort of setting it up and then twisting it round and ending on a punchline. So it was all super helpful.
Are hamsters your favourite animal?
That's a good question. I wouldn't have said so. I'm very, very fond of hamsters now that I've written a book about them. My favourite animal probably is a tiger, and I'm not sure that I could have space tigers coming down and following children around, because They would probably eat quite a lot of them, and so that would be a very different and probably quite dark story.
Why did you choose sheep to turn into scary monsters?
Why did I choose sheep? Because when I was a little girl and moved to the countryside, I was surrounded by sheep, and I just thought they looked a bit sketchy. Didn't trust them, they didn't smile. I thought there was something quite sinister about a sheep. And actually still now, as a grown-up, if I look at a sheep, I think, they're a bit spooky, aren't they? So I thought it was just it seemed like the natural thing to make them into baddies.
You used to be a primary teacher. Did any of your pupils inspire some of your stories?
I don't think I've written anything that actually happened in real life yet. But as a teacher, there was always funny things going on. I say funny, or I may have accidentally knocked a child off a chair once or twice, or accidentally punched a child in the face while I'm gesticulating. Very much accidentally. I want that to be very clear. It was always accidental. But I haven't yet managed to write any of those incidents in. And some of the things that children say, not just when I was a teacher, but when I go into schools, the children are brilliant, and they see the world in always a surprising way, so it's always a learning experience for us as well. I'm just stealing ideas left, right and centre.
Vampire sheep in the first book, zombie pigs in the second one. What other monsters would you like to write about?
Well, I have some horrific demon ducks that want to come out at some point. They're very posh and well-to-do, but don't let that make you think they're nice. They're very evil. So I'm hoping to write about some demon ducks at some point.
If you were worshipped by an animal, what animal would it be?
That's a brilliant question, actually. Let me think. I think if you're going to be worshipped by an animal, it's helpful if that animal can be useful to you in some way. I'm going to lean into being a god. Okay, so in a way that's why hamsters were good, because they do have sort of slightly human-like hands and they can hold things, but probably then it would have to be some kind of monkey, so I can have sort of monkey servants. I mean, I sound like I'm developing into the Wicked Witch of the West, but
Yeah. We can take you to places. A horse.
A horse,
Quite handy,
yes.
but then they haven't got the hands
Yeah,
to make you a cup of tea.
Muck out stables, and I'm not sure they can do it themselves. So
maybe monkeys and horses. Then you've got the hands.
yeah, can I have two
Right.
animals? I want to be the god of two animals. Let's just be the god of all animals.
Brilliant.
Be like Dr. Dolittle. I don't know. They were great questions.
Thank you for answering my questions.
You're very welcome.
you.
Thank you.